Hadi, welcome to this beautiful campus of UMBC. I'm Darlene McIntosh. I'm an elder with Lheidli T'enneh Nation, but here at the university, I'm also the 8th Chancellor that has been appointed, and it has been my greatest honor to represent our people as the Chancellor here. We're walking the journey through truth and reconciliation. And what does it mean to me, and how do I see the university applying what it means? Truth and reconciliation is a beautiful phrase. It talks about truth, and we have evaded the truth for many, many years through residential school, the 60 Scoop, the finding of the 215 graves that just shocked the world. Those are uncomfortable truths, but we have to talk about them. And in talking about it, we have an understanding or an awareness. Rather than evading it and ignoring it, we come from post-secondary education. So we need to know what that means, because when you're at the university here, you're into critical thinking. So it makes you pull apart what is being said and what actually is the truth, right? When you wear your orange, that tells me that you're an ally. And I know that with people, they're so afraid to say something to offend or they're not doing the right thing. Well, how do we learn? We learn by our mistakes. And you're not offending anybody, but at least you're making an effort to be a part of the solution, right? We need to be uncomfortable, we need to understand, and then we move forward. We become part of the solution rather than the problem. How do we collaborate and have conversation and build relationship? It's by doing things that we become vulnerable in, and we're afraid to do it. But when we step out of that into the world that says, I can ask those questions and I'll be okay. And then we understand that now we can become the ally to First Nations people. I have seen fantastic changes. I've seen the shift of energy. I've seen the shift of people being okay with being uncomfortable, learning about our history, right? And in the First Nations Center, we have new leaders, and they're opening up the space to encourage truth and reconciliation, naming everything in the decal carrier language. And it is now today continuing because it had not been completed. And then of course the entrance to the university where they changed the name, and the honoring every time they have an event. They acknowledge whose traditional territories they're on. So it's showing that respect and that understanding of the people who have been here forever. We are in the beginning of fixing it. At UNBC, they have a motto, and it's called Nchahana, which is a carrier decal word, which means respecting all forms of life. And that's where we all need to be. Respecting everything, because really on this earth plane we're all one, and that includes our beautiful environment, which gives us everything we need. How do we honor her? How do we protect her? When we say respecting all forms of life, we journey together as we walk through truth and reconciliation. Coming into September 30th, where we have Orange Shirt Day, the remembrance of the children that were lost in residential schools. It's a time of remembrance, a time to open and accept what has happened in the past. This part of history can't be changed, but we can change and make the future better for those Indigenous lives that have been affected through trauma of the past. And this is about truth and reconciliation. We're not pointing fingers. All we want you to know is recognize what has happened in the past and be respectful of that. That's all we're asking, because we can't change it, but we can change the future. We are now changing the future, but recognizing the past.